If you can't start with what you have now, you will never start. That goal that you want, those things that you want to achieve, the people you want to meet, all the places you want to be, you will never get any of that if you can't even start with what you have now. Today in society, everything is so focused on, new and improved, always improving, getting better. Like every single thing, every single piece of technology is being innovated so far. Like you buy one thing and in a blink of an eye, something new comes out. And you're like, oh man, I should have waited. Or, oh, maybe let me return that and try and get this new thing. Like they constantly, the way things are marketed towards us, the way things are, it's just everything is focused on you continuing to just buy into the fact that you need the best. You need the absolute best in every single thing that you're doing. And I'm not saying don't strive for the best. I'm not saying don't strive to do better, to, achieve better things. And those are so important. And I speak all the time about constantly being in a state of improving. But you can't get lost in things. I say to improve yourself and not just the things you have. Because like in the filmmaking industry, I'm a filmmaker and photographer. And one of the things is they talk about is it's not just the camera, it's the actual videographer, it's the actual photographer. You can give a trash camera, like a little $200 camera to a photographer. I've literally done this before, and you can take amazing, beautiful shots if you know composition, you know how to color grade and do all these different things with the camera. And then you give like a super expensive, you give like a $6,000 camera setup to a little newbie, and they will not know anything. They'll like get some pretty mid shots, if even. And that's the same thing with everything in life. You're thinking, oh, I need to get that camera to start recording my content. Oh, only if I like had those new cleats, I could start my soccer career. Only if, I knew more people, I could start this business and all that. But no, you need to learn to start with where you are now. God has given you the tools to start. From wherever you are, you can start. There's a saying where it's like, the best time you could have started was 5 years ago, but the second best time you can start is now. It's better you start now. Stop living a life of fear. Stop living in a cycle where you think that you need the best. You need like, the best computer that's coming. And I'm guilty of this. So I'm literally speaking to myself as well, because this is something that, I used to struggle with like younger in my career, when I was starting like filmmaking and when I did other stuff with my other YouTube channel. And I would not post because I'm like, I need to get this new camera. I need to get this new computer and all these different things. And yeah, I didn't have the best stuff, and it definitely limited what I could do. But I built up so many different skills on like, composition and learning how to, get the best images and how to edit quickly and all these different things that, this little box that I thought was limiting me, it just helps me learn to perfect that little space. It helps me learn to perfect that little area. So then when that box got widened, that I could do even better. And, as you continue to do better, you'll be able to make upgrades. You'll be able to, get more space, more creative freedom, be able to get these tools to make everything easier. But if you can't steward with what you have now, if you can't take care of what you have now, if you can't go and progress yourself now, then don't expect all these things to change later, because things will only amplify who you are. And if you're a sucky person in front of a camera, if you're a sucky business person, if you're trash at soccer and you just get the new things, it's just gonna amplify. You're just gonna look like trash, with a gold coating on it. So still worthless, just with a little shiny thing on the outside that, makes it look a little fancier, makes it look a little nicer. Don't be that person. Don't live a life where you're waiting, where you're constantly waiting to start. Like with this channel, I know I just need to create this channel just so I can learn to speak, be constantly showing up every single day to where I'm making videos every day. And I'm getting better at speaking, better at just perfecting how to speak at a camera. I can speak with people excellently, but speaking with a camera was something I struggled with. And now this is like what my 46th video, and I can do this so easy. I can just turn on this camera and speak and be able to feel comfortable and provide all this value. But it never would have happened if I never started, if I never took the first step. The first steps always look messy. The first steps, you might slip and fall, and that's okay. You have to embrace that. No one looks perfect when they're first beginning something. Whenever you begin anything, it doesn't matter. You think Ronaldo, Messi, all these different people in soccer, all these different celebrities, all these different actors, every single thing they do, people can be like a natural, quote unquote, or what they do, but in the grand scheme of things, they still kind of suck. Like, no one is perfect. No one is that amazing at something to where they can go pro, they can be a professional when they just start. Like, it's just not how the world works. Good things do take time. It takes time to grow your skills. It takes time to build up. It takes time to take steps over and over, to fail, to fall down, but to choose to get up and continue to progress. You cannot live a life where you're always waiting for the newest thing to come out. You will never progress. You will always be stuck because things are always progressing. Life is like a current. See, life is constantly moving. It's constantly moving. And you're right here. And if life is constantly moving like a current, imagine it's like, ocean current or like a river current, and it's always moving, but you're staying stagnant, then you're truly falling behind. Well, because while everything else is moving forward, you're staying stagnant. So you're falling behind because everything's moving forward, but you're not moving forward at all either. Slow motion is better than no motion. I quote that from Siobhan Salmon, and I always say that because it's true. If you're not moving at least slowly, if you're not at least progressing, then you're falling behind. But at least if you're progressing, at least you're making tiny baby steps, at least if you're moving, at least you're moving with the current, and then eventually be able to pick up speed and move even faster and be able to get better. You get better when you start progressing. You get better when you take the steps. You get better when you practice things. But if you never practice, if you never start, if you never get over those sucky beginnings, those rough beginnings, the things that don't look pretty, they don't look the best. When you start working out, anyone who's been in a gym, they understand that, when you start beginning and you're lifting like little like 10-pound weights and you're like, kind of struggling with it, or little like 15-pound weights and you're like struggling, or little 20 weights and, you're struggling to do all these different things. And you're like, and you're tired, or like, you start doing your first 10 push-ups and, you're out of breath, or like it's hard to do. And, you kind of feel embarrassed. You're like, man, like, look at all these other people that are in shape. But then you stay with it. You might not look the best at first, but you stay with it. And then eventually you progress. And then give it a year. You'll be like, oh, look at how much I'm impressed. Give it 2 years. Oh, okay. I'm kind of getting good at this. 3 years, you're like, oh, okay. I'm pretty good at this. I know what to do. I know that if I just continue going at it, I'll just continue to progress and continue to get better, and I'll strive to get better. That's the same thing with life. You have to flex your muscles, flex your creative muscles, flex your physical muscles, your mental muscles, every single thing. You need to be in a constant state of progressing it, of working at it, and building it. Because if you don't do it, someone out there is going to do it, and someone else is going to progress, and you're just going to see, you're going to live a life where you watch other people pass by. That's why Instagram is one of the most popular social medias. Have you ever noticed you're looking at every other person's life? You're looking at other people enjoy a successful life. You're looking at other people progress towards their goals, do everything that God's called them to do, like walk in a purpose that they're supposed to be walking in, taking these steps, kind of sucking at the beginning. And, you choose to follow those people. You choose to, subscribe to those people. Like, you could subscribe to me and watch me continue to grow. You choose to see all these different things. People like to enjoy and watch the underdog story. But for some reason, you feel like if you start, everyone is going to hate on you. There are probably going to be people that hate on you. Like, let's be realistic. But not everyone is going to. Some people are going to be like, you know what, Christian, you can do it. Let me subscribe to you. I see the value. I can see where this is going to go. I can see how this is going to improve. I can see how this is going to get better. Let me subscribe. Let me join the journey. And you feel like people can't do that for you. That's why people love to watch Instagram. They love to see other people live their lives. They like to see other people walk in purpose. Yet you don't walk in purpose yourself. Because it shows the highlight reels. It shows the beautiful parts. It shows everything that's so nice. But it doesn't show the struggle. It doesn't show when, when I come downstairs and I don't want to record this video at like 11 something at night because I need a quiet time and, this is what I need to do. It doesn't show all the specific times where I'm not feeling the best certain days. And, it's kind of unmotivating sometimes, to not see things progressing that way I want it to. But you have to keep on going. You have to progress, because I know if I can't do it now, if I can't shoot with an iPhone now, then what am I going to do? But you'll progress. You'll eventually start getting better. Like now I have a little mic. Now I have a little mic that I don't have to hold my phone. Because, all the people that were subscribed before and were liking the videos before, they saw the journey of how I was just holding the phone. And now, we have a little clip on mic, and eventually we're going to get a new camera and all these different things. But you have to learn to start with what you have. If you cannot steward with what you have now, you're not going to be able to handle it later. It's like, imagine you're a parent and, you have a kid and you have the money to, you have the finances to, and you can't afford them to give them a Lamborghini. But you're not going to give them a Lamborghini as their first car because, a 16-year-old kid is not going to be driving as smart and as safe as, most people as adults. They're not going to be as responsible. They're going to be a little bit reckless. So, you're going to give them a nice little toy. How about you give them like, a nice little Honda Civic, it's the first car, train them up. And they might be like, why can't you give me more? Why can't you give me something better? I know you can. This is something we often say with God. We're just like, God, I know you can give me better. It literally says in your word, it says in the Bible, it says you can, like, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, where are the blessings from heaven? Where are all these different things? Like, where is my blessing? Where is this thing that I want out? Where's this thing that you promised me? Where's these things that you gave me these visions for, that, you particularly gave me visions of like what I'm supposed to be doing and the life I'm supposed to have. Like all these people are giving me prophecies and saying that, I have a wealthy future, I'm going to meet this person, like meet the woman of God I'm supposed to marry, live all these things and do all these different things. And you're like, God, I know you can do it. Why don't you do it? But a good parent is going to be like, no, you need to take what you have. Take that Honda Civic right now. Learn to drive. Learn the basics. Learn to, you can be responsible. And when I'm seeing you're responsible with it, I'm not going to jump you all the way to a Lambo. Even though I can give you one. Don't worry. I can afford you one when it's your time. But you're not ready for that yet. How about we, we jump you up to, a Tesla. We go get you a little Tesla Model 3. Can you handle this? Can you handle a bit more of an expense? Can you handle responsibility? Okay, now you can do it. Okay, how about we go, step up to an Audi. We get you your Audi RS6, yeah, that's my dream car, but like one of my dream cars. But yeah, let's get you your Audi RS6, $100,000 car. Okay. Let's take you, you're taking care of it. Good job. You're taking care of it. And, it's not going to happen immediately because I want to see that you can continue and not just one day, but God is like, okay, I can see that you're not just trying to just impress things, but you truly in your heart, you can progress. You can do better. And then eventually you're just like, you know what? How about we go get you that Lambo? And eventually you're like, wow, thanks, Dad. Thanks, God. Thanks for doing that. But it also, you have to progress. You have to start from somewhere. Don't be a person that can't steward with what they have now. Don't be a person that can't take little and make big with it. Because I can tell you right now, there are people right now that, they might have all these big tools and everything, but they've proven time and time again. There are YouTubers that when they start with their secret channels, small channels, and, they can start with a phone and a laptop and watch. Give them a couple months. And that channel's going to blow up because they know what to do. That same thing applies to everything within your life. Steward with what you have now. If you can't handle, taking care of the little seed now, what makes you think you're going to be able to handle an orchard? You can't even handle the small plant, the small potted plant. And like, God, when are you going to give me something that's going to bear a ton of fruit? But you can't handle the one thing, that needs to bear like just small amount of fruit. You can't even handle that. And you're asking for a whole big orchard of acres and acres of grapes to produce wine and all these different things. But you can't handle the small things. That's why it's so important. And this goes down to your habits as well. You want to ask to be in these places. You want to ask to be with these people. You want to ask to meet the woman of God, but you're still watching porn. You want to ask to meet famous people, to have conversations with people of higher influence and all these different things. But you can't steward the relationships that you have now. You can't communicate with people now. You can't handle what it means to have a tight circle and different layers of circles of friends now. But you want to be exposed to all these different people? Really? You really think you're ready? But you can't steward this tiny thing, this little tiny thing that you have now? You see how ridiculous it sounds? That you would ask for so much, but you can't handle a little bit. Like, would you give a person that you know, like as soon as they get their little check of $100, they just waste it all away. They waste it away. They spend it on like drugs, or they spend it all on food and going out, and they can't save any little bit, or they can't even spend things on investing themselves so they can get a return in more money. They just waste it on meaningless things. Would you go and say, you know what, I'll go give you $1 million? Heck no, you wouldn't. Because you know they can't handle the little bit. They can't steward it. Don't be that person that can't steward a little. Don't be that person that you cannot handle a small amount. Because if you can't handle a small amount, then God's not going to give you a little bit. And you're going to wonder why you're remaining stagnant. You're going to wonder why you're remaining in that same place. But it's because you cannot handle the little bit. Don't get distracted. Don't think that you need the best thing in life. Don't think you need everything to be perfect at these high-level people. These high-level people, they earn it. They work for it. They prove that they can handle it. Now it's your turn. Prove that you can handle a little bit so you can continue to grow. Grow. Take steps. Take baby steps. Soon you're going to be able to start. You're going to take your little steps, and then you're going to be able to start jogging, and you're going to be able to start running, and you're sprinting, and sooner or later you're going to start riding the bike, and you're going to be progressing. Then you're going to be able to learn to drive the car, and maybe you might drive an airplane one day. These are all figurative meanings, but truly, I mean, you have to learn to handle a little bit to progress further within life. Steward with what you have now. Now, if you want to watch a video on how to exactly lock in and steward everything you have in an exact plan on how to handle it all and take care of it and become a completely different person within 12 weeks and truly lock in and see fruition in every single thing that you have right now, watch this video right here on how to lock in. It will absolutely change your life. It's helped so many different people. Watch this video right here.